All right, good afternoon. So I'm here with Miss Jherlene Atupan, and we're doing the post-conference questions after I have observed her class last Tuesday, and she was teaching 10th graders, and the lesson was about active and passive accommodation. So I was given the privilege to observe your class last Tuesday, and I would say that it was really indeed engaging. So congratulations on that part. So Ms. Atupan, in general, how do you think, how successful was that lesson that you delivered to your class?
Alright, in general, I could say that based on my observation and students' work, I have here, their work, 90% of the students,
Right.
you can see, 90% of the students were able to learn that what was intended to learn for that day, because the objectives were to let the students explain active and passive transport, which they did it.
And I see here,
85% of the students did fully understand, as I have checked the work. 10% of the students have partially understood the concept about passive and active transport, and still there are like 5% of the students who still need some remediation.
Right.
So that's what I observed.
Okay.
But generally, I believe it is a successful one because mostly they are engaged and they have correctly written out the answers.
Right. So I see here from your artifacts that you have given them some worksheets about the definition of concepts of your lesson, and they also provided some examples as well. So based from these documents that you have, most of I think from these 6 documents that you've given me, they were all perfect scores, 95%, 93, 2 got 100%. So they were really able to catch up and master the concepts that you have given. So these are the indicators that you had. All right, so to what extent did your classroom procedures, the student conduct, and your use of physical space contribute to student learning?
Right. As you can see in my room is in group of 4.
Right.
And I have a space to walk, to circulate around, in between those groups of 4 and at the side. So it's I can facilitate students' learning. I can talk more and do accommodation and redirect those students who have those special services too. So it is a good classroom setting, I believe.
Right.
For my students, for the procedures, they know already at the beginning of the class, like the first 5 minutes of the class, they have to do their bell ringer or do now. I have noticed, yes, some were still not on task when they came in. It's the period after lunch. So probably they have been active from the food they eat.
Right.
So, but it is it's my accountability to that. I need to tell them to be quiet and enter them quietly till first 5 minutes of the class. But other than that, after that, I believe I was able to let them do their tasks.
Right. Yes, I've noticed also that in the first 5 minutes, some of them are not yet on task and doing the bell ringer, but after that, they were able to engage in your discussion. So you're right. After lunch break, it's really hard to, keep them down because of what they have taken after lunch. So it's natural. It is natural. It happens. All right. So another question is, to what extent does your instructional delivery, like your classroom activities, your grouping of students, and material resources that you use, effective in that lesson that you delivered last Tuesday?
Okay. I believe those materials are much more effective when the students write. They can reword, rephrase those definition of terms or whatever they learned from my discussion and definition, describing how passive transport is,
Right.
active transport is, and those types of transport. So if they reword it, rephrase it, so it's more effective than just copying and pasting online.
Right.
Because I had a little change in my
Mhm.
lesson plan, because the first period, second period, I let the students use the laptop for
Right.
the definition, but it is not that effective because they just copy and paste from the
Mhm.
internet. So by changing my plan a little bit, like let them write on the paper, can help them reword, rephrase, or use their own words when
Right.
they define or describe the term.
I still remember that you kept on telling them, write in your own words the definition or of the concepts of this vocabulary word. So yes, and they were able to do that because they're using pen and paper instead of using their computers.
Right.
So that was very effective for them. All right. And what adjustments to your original plan, if you did some adjustments after you made your lesson plan, did you make during the lesson, and why did you determine those adjustments were necessary for that class?
Okay, as mentioned a while ago, yeah, I did change a little bit,
Right.
like those, instead of using the laptop for the defining words
Mhm.
and describing those terms, active and passive transport,
Mhm.
those osmosis, facilitated diffusion, all
Okay.
those, and do exercises, so let them write on the paper, and it takes time. I know it takes a little time because they have to think first what were they gonna write or rephrase those words that I discussed in class.
Mhm.
However, I find it more effective, and I changed a little bit of the mini lab. There should be a mini lab after that, but
Right.
we were not able to finish it on time.
Mhm. So there was a time constraint regarding the. Is that a small or a whole class activity? Your mini lab activity
Yeah,
there.
it's just a short, the whole class,
Okay.
but it's a short one, like demonstration. How did we do it? I didn't have any much more time to do that,
Mhm.
but I was able to explain to them
Mhm.
how important it is passive and active transport in real life. Like
Mhm.
they need to apply the concepts in like real world, so they will fully understand.
All right. So that adjustment that you made was really necessary and effective in the delivery of your lesson.
Yes, sir.
Right? And what do student work samples reveal about student engagement and understanding? So I have here some samples of the student work, and you mentioned earlier that it was very effective because you made them write in pieces of paper. Do you think you will still do this in your next lesson, or change it from offline to online work?
Yeah, for that definition of terms, I find it more effective to write on paper, and for explanation of like the claims in my science class, claims, reasoning, find evidence, and the spelling too. I can correct your spelling.
Okay.
No need for spell check because
Right.
online they can spell check it. But
Exactly.
just I'm not an English teacher, but
Mhm.
I believe I can also help tell them like they need to like correct even like simple spelling can do or grammar.
I like that. There's an integration among different content areas, science and English, and you can also help improve their writing skills.
Yes.
I like that. Thank you, Ms. Atupan. And if you have a chance to teach this lesson again to your other classes, the same group of students, what would you do differently next time?
I think I will be giving them the homework first with the
Okay.
vocabulary, so we
Oh,
don't
okay.
consume most of the time. They can
Mhm.
read at home and they can familiarize with the words. And in
Okay.
class, we just have to be a little bit quicker in
Mhm.
those terms, and then we can define it quickly, and then we can do to the next activity. They can do take pair share maybe,
Right.
or some mini lab activities in class.
Mhm. So assigning them homeworks or activities before you conduct the lesson would be important in
Yeah.
delivering a better lesson next time.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Okay. How would you handle, disruptive students? Because I've noticed that during the first 20 minutes, there were some students who would like to roam around the class. Some are not on task, while some students are on task. How would you improve the behavior management inside the room?
Okay, and that's a good question, yeah.
Mhm.
In my part, I believe I need to be consistent
Mhm.
in what our procedures and policies is in our room.
Right.
Next thing, so after consistency, I need to give consequences to them.
Okay.
Not just always from a warning, go home.
Mhm.
I have to show to everybody like this is your next consequence if you don't follow. And I hope next time they will be able to do it. But keep in mind that those two students, I remembered that like two students are really like disruptive in the class,
Right.
and one of them have accommodation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just don't know if that student was able to take his medication or not, but based on my observation from last time, he was just quiet in the class sitting in the front row, but that time he was so active, so
Okay.
maybe he forgot his medication, and he has accommodation, so like special services, so that's why I always move here and there, but yes, he has accommodation. Actually, there are six
Six students with
students
accommodation.
accommodation in my class
Alright.
that time.
So that would lead to my last question for today, Ms. Atupan. What assistance or help would you like the administration to assist you or to give you so that you can deliver a better lesson next time? You mentioned that there are 6 students with accommodation, right? So can you think of some support or assistance that the administration could help you better your lesson next time?
Yeah, I believe maybe once or twice a month or a week, a special education teacher can come and help me
Okay.
with those students with accommodation, so I won't be overwhelmed with what
Right.
they do. But that is a good one where one can support me for that.
Okay, so a co-teacher would help you.
Yeah.
All right. Aside from that, what about physical materials or equipments because you're teaching biology, right?
Just maybe some lab materials that I need, because usually I buy it in my own pocket.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sometimes the district provide like we've got $250
Yes, per
first
semester, right?
to buy those materials and equipment. And also I try to do the Daughter's Choose project. Like-
What is that?
It is actually it's a program where it's called Daughter's Choose. You're gonna send some materials, classroom materials, or any project. You send it to them, and they're gonna provide you with that one, with those materials. Actually, I am an ambassador for the Donors Choose, so I will be
okay.
glad to help the school support
Wow.
all the teachers here. It's one of my I think my mission to
Your
help.
advocacy too.
Yeah, my advocacy to help, like provide those materials for the teachers who need. So right now we have for computer science, they will Donors Choose can give like $10,000 for if you send curriculum for the computer science for the whole year. They've got a contest. The winner would receive $10,000.
Wow.
That is great. And they also give like 50% from those sponsors, their donations, and the donors choose will give 50% also, so they're gonna support together.
Oh, wow.
So I think that will be good. I have already 3 projects that were already supported, and I submitted 2, and I need to work on the other new teachers as well, so I
Okay.
can help them.
Right, so this is not only for science or biology, right?
No, this is for all teachers.
All teachers.
Okay, in any subjects.
Alright. And how long have you been doing this Donors Choose program?
I started in 2017.
So that's about roughly 5 years
5
now.
years, yeah.
So
And I
this
was
is-
in Florida.
Okay, so this is a good advocacy to help our students as well find some donors and help them with their classroom materials if ever.
That's right.
Okay. What about the students, Ms. Atupan? What do you think will make them learn better
Okay.
in your class?
I believe mindset comes first.
Mindset.
Okay, their mindset that they need to learn something and they're gonna apply it in their real world, in life. Because my past experiences, when I teach and I don't tell them what's the value of this lesson to your real life, oh, I don't know what is this, so
Okay.
so I need to, real world application is best for them, so they can understand more. Then they will love learning more, and they like hands-on.
Hands-on, especially
Hands-on.
in your subject.
Yes.
Right. So this is a good suggestion because the reason why I'm asking is we could actually have this as a next topic in our professional development in our next PD by summer or next year. We can work as a group, the whole faculty members, and talk about how are we going to somehow influence the mindset of our students as well.
Right.
All right. So do you have any questions or do you have any suggestions?
I think that I will just like to add like mind setting. I know their backgrounds. Some of them have no parents or guardians to support them at home with their homework or some difficulty in their class work. So we teachers, we just have to understand them, who they are. But we need also to correct them if we've got some, I don't want to be in college like this because I don't have money or something. Nobody is helping me at home. So as for us teachers, we can help, like, let them think that we are here for them. Like, we're not just teach and give grades, but we are here like they're supporters that can support them, and we will be happy for them if they're successful in life, and we have to help them be successful in their lives, whatever they want to do.
I appreciate your time today, Ms. Atupan. I really like the comment and the suggestion that you made. I will take note of this and suggest it to the other principals as we're going to have this in our next PD. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right.
sir.